Hi there. Happy Training Tuesday. My name is Kim Irwin. I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne International, and I appreciate you being with me today. So have you ever heard that comment, you can sleep when you die, or you can sleep when you're dead, something like that? Well, my husband used to say that, and also that Dr. Peter Attia that I've talked about before. Man, that man is such a wealth of information, and he knows so much about oncology, about cardiovascular health, about metabolic syndrome, diabetes. I mean, the whole gamut. And he, personally really talks a lot about the cardiovascular effects because of his lipids and familial history with that kind of thing. But he really has been talking about how important sleep is. And before, he was like, I was always boasting as I was in residency and not sleeping for however many hours at a time. He said, I thought that was so great. I thought I was so, I was so proud of that. He said, come to find out, I was probably doing myself a lot more harm than good. He said, in fact, I was probably hastening my death, which you can't go back in time, guys. So learning these behaviors, making them a priority in your life now is really important because it will have an effect on longevity and your well-being and health being over that time. Okay, so meaning your longevity, the rest of your life. So what do we know about sleep? Well, it is fascinating. Like, I have this pillow app that I've talked about before, and it tells me my light sleep, my deep sleep, my REM, which is rapid eye movement, dreaming time. And there's so many studies and research on sleep now because they're finding how much it is related to our brain health, cognition, Alzheimer's, just all diseases, cardiac, all of it. So it's so important to understand why you need sleep. It's not that you're just going, unconscious for a period of time, because your brain is actually continuing to work while you're asleep, especially when you're in deep sleep. And deep sleep is where all the regenerative work comes in. It starts working on memory, and it's kind of like a filing system where it goes in and it decides, okay, throughout the day, you had all these experiences, all these thoughts, all this stuff happened. What are we going to keep? What are we going to get rid of? And I kind of am curious, like, how does it know? Maybe I wanted to keep that memory, but apparently it knows more than I do, of course. So anyway, what is important for sleep? They say the average adult needs 7.5 to 8.5 hours of sleep. If you are below 6 hours of sleep, that's not adequate. Okay, so you need to up it. How can you up it? And you can have too much sleep. They say if somebody is sleeping like 11 hours a day, there could be an underlying problem, but most likely it's not good, deep sleep. So you can have too much, but most people have too little. So what are we going to do to change that? A couple of tips that he talks about are, number one, make it dark. Put in dark shades, turn off, like I spent the night at my sister's last night, and there was this blue light from an extension cord. I'm pointing over there. And I put something in front of it because it honestly bothered me. I mean, I'm very, very sensitive, and apparently it is something that you want to make sure you don't have those, any lights, any electronic lights, nothing like that. You want to keep it as dark as you can. You want it cool. Okay, so that's why they say take a warm bath before, or sit in the hot tub, something like that, because that's going to warm you up, and then you get in these cool sheets, and it just helps you to induce sleep. You shouldn't be on technology. Like, try an hour before, and maybe put your phone, and I'm guilty of this. I have my phone right next to my bed because I always check my pillow app first thing in the morning, but you shouldn't. There's a should, but you really should have all technology out of your bedroom. There's really no place for it in there. And so that's one of his recommendations as well. But what happens is, people say, that's okay, I'll just drink a lot of coffee. Well, did you know that actually coffee's not, with regard to sleep, it's not a stimulant, okay? With regard to sleep, what happens is that we have what's called adenosine and in our brain. And what that does is that gives you, it promotes our sleep drive. It makes us tired. Adenosine in our brain makes us tired. When we drink caffeine, the caffeine blocks that. So that's what's happening. You don't feel tired because that adenosine is not there telling you that you're tired. So interesting with that. He also talks about a lot of different prescriptions that you can take, different medications. I can't remember, Amgen or Amidin. I can't remember what it is. You guys would all know. You're probably saying it right now. I'm not going to go through all these different prescriptions because that's not ideal. Like he says, you shouldn't take that stuff because it's not giving you a good, solid, deep sleep. Yeah, you're going unconscious, but gosh, what is it? Amgen or something like that. And when you take it, they were having people who were sleepwalking and things like that. So there were a lot of problems with those. They are making some headway for people who just really, they've got insomnia and they need something. There are some drugs that are showing some promise, he says, for that. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this was because not only is it good information to have and some prioritizing in our lives for healthy habits, but he did mention ashwagandha. You've heard of that, ashwagandha, right? That is in our Inner Calm. And Inner Calm, I talk about it for a lot of different things, for like hormone leveling and anxiety balancing or I think I switched those two, hormone balancing, anxiety relief, things like that. But it also, apparently, according to Dr. Attia, he has found that there are people that have success taking ashwagandha for sleep, to get the good regenerative sleep that we need, everybody needs. So again, we've got Inner Calm. It's got ashwagandha and saffron in it. So if you are, so I've got a lot of friends that really, like, they just don't ever sleep. And you got to try this. It's natural. And apparently, you know, could be a very good alternative to Western medicine drugs. Who knows for sure if it's going to help, but if you don't try it, it's not going to help. I can tell you that much right now. So let me see if there was anything else I wanted to tell you really quickly here. I think that was it, really. So some ideas to help if you have trouble sleeping, getting to sleep. Calm your mind. Don't look through work emails before and get your mind rolling like this. Says definitely your alarm clock. If you wake up in the middle of the night, don't open your eyes. Don't look at the alarm clock, because as soon as you see that it's 3 o'clock, you start thinking, I've got to get up in 3 hours. I've got to get to this meeting. And all of a sudden your mind starts working and you're no longer asleep. And it thinks that you're supposed to do that every morning. Oh, I'm supposed to wake up at 3 o'clock because that's when we're going to go through our schedule. You train your brain, okay? So let's train it to get more sleep, good deep sleep. And if you're struggling with that, get some ashwagandha. It could help. Okay, thanks. I hope you have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.